Hi, I'm Bob LaRosa. Welcome to Fix My Hog. I get a lot of questions when it comes pertaining to carburetor running issues. The most typical question I get is, I'm driving along at 60 or 70 miles an hour and my motorcycle wants to stumble, fall flat. You need to do a lot of research. You need to bring a lot of answers to the table before you can start doing any type of troubleshooting. What I always recommend, take a piece of masking tape, put it on your switch housing, put a piece of masking tape on your throttle, and make yourself some hash marks. On the switch housing, a stationary point, and on the throttle, in let's say 1/8 increments. And when you're riding, see where that throttle is in relation to wide open. You'll find doing 60 miles an hour, that throttle's barely open. You may still be running on the slow jet solely. A lot of people will get a stumble 60, 70 miles an hour. First thing they want to do is either up or down the main jet size. That is, you're not even on the main jet circuit unless that throttle is open accordingly to utilize the main jet circuit. A lot of carburetor issues that I encounter are fuel related. Float bowl not correctly set, the needle not seated into the needle seat itself in the base of the carburetor, whether it's swollen from ethanol that's found in today's fuels, or it's just old and gummed up. Unless you're getting an adequate amount of fuel, you will develop a stumble somewhere throughout the fuel delivery window in the CV carburetor, or any carburetor for that matter. 6 out of 10 issues I come across when people are hell-bent on telling me that the carburetor is not functioning correctly has nothing to do with fuel delivery, jetting, or proper carburetor operation. A lot of problems come from half-fouled or dirty plugs, failing plug wires, failing coils, sensors that aren't working correctly, additional electrical add-ons that are drawing too much voltage from the ignition system. Again, you just can't say, my bike at 60 miles an hour, it stumbles. I need a bigger main jet. Bigger, when it comes to fuel delivery, is not always better. I would prefer to start with a smaller main jet and then upgrade, upsize the jet accordingly. Then start with an enormous main jet that's just flooding everything. Not only does the motorcycle run rich, smells like gasoline when you're riding, but you run the risk of washing the oil layer on the cylinder away from the rings in the piston and causing internal engine damage from too much fuel. Again, carburation is very simple. When it works correctly, it works correctly. When it's not working correctly, make sure that it is a carburetor or fuel delivery issue as opposed to a number of the other underlying issues that can arise. Electrical, mechanical, the list is endless. So next time you may have a problem or a friend has a carburation problem they believe is carburetor related, before you just dive in, rebuild a carburetor, or upjet or downjet unnecessarily, take a little time, refer to your service manual, refer to other people who ride the typical bike like yours, and do a little diagnostic before you just dive in and blame carburation for any poor running problems.